What is going on, everybody? Dirk with the Ground Up Game, where we buy a piece of land and build from the ground up. Today in this video, I'm going to show you guys the rough plumbing, the stage of the rough plumbing, and all the details if you want to get into the Ground Up Game, which of course, it's the best game out there. Why would you not want to get into the Ground Up Game, baby? Let's go take a look at the actual rough plumbing scope. So before we had the rough plumbers come in, or the plumbers come in to do their roughing, we started with planning it all out. If you look at the floor plan, the key things to think about when you're planning out your plumbing is where's your water heater gonna go, and then where your gas line is gonna go as well. So in this house, the water heater is gonna be a tankless. It's planned for right here in the garage. This is our main hub, right? This is where all of our hot and cold water is gonna come into the house, and this is where we plan around. That's the main hub that we plan around. We also have to locate and think about where our gas meter is gonna come in. So if you see right here, the gas meter is going to come from the exterior, and all of our gas that's plumbed for the house, that's for your range, for your fire pit, for your fireplace, anything that's going to get gas, it comes from this meter, this main source in this meter. And you can see that then we run through and plan all of our stubs out. As you can see right here, one of the main stubs is for the furnace. This is a gas furnace. So all of our planning before we actually start the rough-in comes around these things. The key thing about that planning is if you're smart and you think about it, a plumber bids out his gas on a per lineal foot, right? So the smarter you can be and the better you can lay out your plumbing, the more cost effective it's going to be. So we start with the planning component, and then let's go look at the actual scope. So like I said, the water heater is going to be here. We're in the rough-in phase. This is PEX pipe. Red is hot, blue is cold. So this is where your heater is going to sit in the future. And let's go look at some of the details. It's a two-story house, so all this plumbing that you see here, that has to run per code as a slope, and we have main drops that come in. This is a little detail that we do. We upgrade the main drop to this cast iron pipe. It's called quiet pipe. Anybody ever flush a toilet and you hear it run through your walls? Well, this really reduces that sound. I wouldn't say that it completely gets rid of it, but it really reduces it, and it costs us like another $100, $200 to do. So small little upgrade. Super cool, because now if somebody flushes the toilet upstairs and you're in the kitchen, you're not going to hear it, right? So cast iron. All that black pipe, that's all of our sewer. And then all the white that you see, the red, blue, that's all PEX pipe, and that's our water supply. So if you go and look around, you can see, based on the plumbing rough-in, that tells you what the kitchen layout looks like. We're back to this gas, right? This right here is where the range is going to be. Then you move over here, the kitchen layout tells us here's a drain for the sink, and then here you've got your hot water and your cold water. So wherever you have your gas stub outs, your gas or plumbing stub outs, that's gonna dictate where the finish is gonna be. If you look over here, you have more drops. Like this one we didn't do this one. This is actually just a vent. We didn't do this in cast iron because it's not a main drop, so it's no big worries. If you come over here, you can see the same thing. We plan for your washer and dryer. You've got your drain and your vent here, and then you've got your hot and cold. Once you finish your framing and you're going into your rough MEPs, your rough mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, your plumbers, they're the first trade that comes in because they have the most challenge and they got to lay it all out, right? They're the first trade that comes in. And then your electrical guys, you can see we're also already wired in for electrical. We'll make another video on that. Those guys come in after the plumber. And mechanical, in our case, sometimes people like to get the mechanical guys in first, but in our case, we bring him in as the third sub that actually comes in. We're really close now. Like I said, plumbing's done, rough electrical's done. We're gonna have the mechanical guy come in, and then what we do is we actually do what's called a Matterport, where before we cover any of these walls, we'll bring in a 3D Matterport. That way we know that when we cover them with insulation and drywall, we know what's behind the wall. So if we ever have an issue or we ever want to do a remodel, we're able to provide our customers with that great information. If you want to watch us bring this baby to life and many, many more, just give us a follow and we will see you on the next one, baby.